everyone, it's Sunday, which means it's Devo and Devotion Day. Remember, the reading challenge will end in a couple of days, and the announcement for the winners will be Wednesday. First prize, t-shirt, right? 1335 Student Ministry t-shirt, and Crazy Socks. Second place prize, Crazy Socks. So, be there, be part of it, and see the winners. And we'll have another contest started really soon, and we'll be announcing that Wednesday as well. So, today is the 28th, which means we are in chapter 29, because remember, we're a day ahead. And the verse that really stood out to me today after I prayed and I read and just kind of meditated and asked God to reveal what he wanted me to talk about and kind of just present today. The one that stood out to me was verse 23. Pride ends in humiliation, while humility brings honor. Now, we've been talking a lot about pride and foolishness, and how those kind of go hand in hand through our More Than a Hashtag series on Wednesday night. We've talked a lot about how kind of that idea of when we are kind of selfish or self-centered or not really very considerate, right? That's kind of the roots of being prideful, because pride is at its heart not considering other people's skills, other people's abilities, like the value of other people, right? Because every person you have ever met is created in the image of God and is complex and has feelings and emotions. And while we interact with them, right, we're called to, as we've been talking about, humility is the opposite of pride, right? That's what the other part of this verse says, and that brings honor to God. But humility, as C.S. Lewis said, is not thinking less of ourselves. It's not being kind of like self-deprecating or putting yourself down. It's knowing that you are created in the image of God and thinking more about other people and considering their talents and abilities, and using our talents and abilities to lift them up instead of tear them down. This verse reminds me of something God says in Mark 8. Well, Jesus says in Mark 8, starting in 34. Then, calling the crowd to join his disciples, he said, "If any of you wants to be my follower, you must turn from your selfish ways. Take up your cross and follow me. If you try to hang on to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for my sake, and for the sake of the good news, you will save it. And what do you benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul? Is anything worth more than your soul? If anyone is ashamed of me and my message in these adulterous and sinful days, the Son of Man will be ashamed of that person when he returns in the glory of his Father with the holy angels." Now, here he kind of echoes that idea that pride is at its root selfishness. It's basically saying to God, right, when we have the Bible and he has revealed to us through it how we can get the most out of life. It's essentially saying, like, I got it. I know better, right? And that's kind of the root of things. Because if you're selfish, if you're only looking at yourself, if you're only thinking about your own interests and what you feel like is gonna get you ahead in life, what is gonna make you happy, what is gonna be fulfilling to your life, do you listen to other people? No. Right? Because you know best. And that's why Jesus here is saying, prideful people won't follow me, because they won't listen. They won't turn from those ways. They'll try to get all the things that this world says are important, right? Money, fame, just like all these things. Like every commercial you see is trying to sell you something to tell you that your life is better. Will be better if you have it, right? But here he's saying, if you follow me, if you listen to me, if you say, look, I don't know best. You do, God. You do. I want to follow you. And we commit ourselves to him and listen and then follow his instructions. That's humility. That's realizing that we don't know everything, right? It's realizing that we may not know how to get the most out of life. We don't want to try this trial and error approach anymore, and 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 really try to piece together what makes sense in life and how to get the most out of it. He straight up told us and modeled it for us. We just need to listen and follow him, and because he is all about, as we've been talking about in the More Than a Hashtag series, restoring relationships. He is about building things. He's about bringing people together. He's about love and hope and joy, and just experiencing life to the full, like he says in John 10:10. That's what he's about. But we have to be willing to say, I don't know it all. And that's the heart of being humble. And the heart of, as we've talked about in Micah 6:8, right? The whole verse for the series, act justly, right? What does God command us to do? Act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with God and his ways, the things that he calls us to do, the way he calls us to see people. Because the thing is, when we're selfish, we're only focused on ourselves, we see other people as obstacles to our happiness, to getting the things we want. That's why we lie, to break relationships. We care more about what we want than we care about relationships. That's just the way it is, right? We don't see other people as complex and full of emotions and full of personal story and complexity and nuance and divinely crafted by our Father and Creator. We don't see people like that. They're just in the way because we're all about us. We're not asking questions. We're not trying to learn more about them. So that honors God. Humility honors God because it is the image, it's the expressing through us about his love for others, right? Because we're interested in them. We're interested in how we can encourage them, how we can use the talents that God has given us to bless others, not tear other people down. So that's just a really cool word, I think, that God's shared with me through this verse. Proverbs 29, 23. Pride ends in humiliation, while humility brings honor. Because we all know being selfish like that breaks relationships and just doesn't end well. So, this week, we got a lot going on. I've already mentioned the prize winner is going to be announced Wednesday. We got Tuesday from 6:30 to 8:30. We got Fortnite, which is always a lot of fun. If you still need my Epic account name, please get up with me. Wednesday, remember there's a new time for our Wednesday Night Live. It is from 5:30 to 7. 30 minutes earlier, ends 30 minutes earlier. But it just seems to be a better time for everybody, and we also don't want people to miss out on food and being with your family. So that is Wednesday, 5:30 to 7. And then Thursday, remember we have our game day, hangout, just kind of fun time to have conversations. That is from 2:30 to 4:30, and we would love for you to be part of that. We miss you guys. Thank you so much to everyone who has been a part of that. Oh, also remember coming up later this month, get up with us if you're interested. We're going to be making basic necessity and snack kits for to partner with a ministry in Montgomery to hand out kits to the homeless. If you're interested in that, please get up with me and let me know so we can start to get that information together and just get that out to you and make sure that you don't miss out on that. That's really fun. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up this month, so keep your eyes peeled on our texts and our notifications. And if you aren't part of those, please get up with us. Let us know. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and just you can get up with us through the secretary at the church as well. And I'm on Facebook, so just send me a message any of those ways. Get up with me, and we'd love to add you. We miss you guys. Hope to talk to you soon. See you this week. And just continue to grow in God together. See you guys soon. Love you all. Miss y'all. Have a good day.